Hello friends, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my new video. Friends, what I'm going to tell in this video is very much interesting because in this video we are talking about 6 strange parallel universe stories ever happened. So friends, let's get start our video without any delay. Before our video get started, you must know what is parallel universe. So those who don't know, parallel universe or parallel dimensional is similar like time travel. For example, I am the uploader and you are the viewer of my video. In parallel universe, you will be the uploader and I am your viewer. We will take second example. You are an employer and work under the boss. In parallel universe, you will be the boss and your boss will be work under you and he will be the employer. The first story is a man from it. Allegedly, this man told customs he was in Japan for business and had legitimate visa stamps, currency from multiple European countries, checks from an unknown bank, and driver license issued in taured. He was sent to be hotel while things were sorted out, while two immigration officers stood outside of his hotel door. But when they went to check on him in the morning, he had vanished. This was 15 stories up above a busy street, so escaping through a window was unlikely, if not possible. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department searched but never located the man from Torret. 4 girls. The ladies had been driving on black asphalt in the desert, but after taking a wrong turn, they said they found themselves driving on white cement, surrounded by grain field and a lake. They spotted a building with a large neon sign, making up illegible random squiggles, and as they pulled in for assistance, a large group of tall men poured out of the front door, seeming shocked and upset, waving their arms at the girl. Then the girl realized these tall men didn't even appear to be human, so they freaked out and drove off. While the girls were driving away, they noticed 4 peculiar egg-shaped automobiles mounted on tricycle-style vehicle were following them. They sped ahead until the mysterious vehicle were out of sight. And when they reached the canyon and drove all the way back through it, they would somehow return to the desert they were originally in. Glad to be back, but unable to figure out the mysterious place they would just gone and how they arrived there. And this story is about Lerina Garcia. Woke up one morning and noticed minor difference. Her sheets were unfamiliar and the pajama she was wearing were different from the ones she would gone to sleep in. Her day got weirder when she went to work and discovered that her office was no longer her and she worked in the same building but in a different department under a boss she would never met. She returned to home only to find that her ex-boyfriend was there, only he wasn't her ex. He was her current boyfriend, her new lover. whom she would been dating for months, was nowhere to be found. Larina believes she worked here, but she from a parallel universe where the differences are as small as her bedspread. This story is about one day a woman and her friend were camping at a site near the mysterious forest when they found hearing music coming from a small stone cabin that was lit up by torches. They claimed to be see people wearing 17th century fashion dancing inside, and the curious woman was drawn to it. So she headed over and tried to enter. Before she could get inside, a friend pulled her away, and half of her body immediately became paralyzed. The half that had entered the cabin. Some believe that the woman partially entered a dimensional gateway, and when she was pulled out, she experienced a shift that threw off her nervous system, resulting in her partial paralyzation. This is a story of peculiar guy popped up in village where he was picked up and questioned by authorities. The only comprehensible language he spoke was a broken variation of German, but he said his name was Joffer Warren and claimed to come from a part of the world known as Sakriya. He conveyed that he was searching for his long lost brother whom had been separated from her during shipwreck, while he had geographical information regarding his home planet, such as five compartments known as Sakriya, Aflar, Esler, Osler, and Jupiter. He couldn't trace his route on shore, and he would wound up in living Berlin, where he was a topic of discussion amongst the scientists and simply curious communities. And the last story is of James Richard. In 2009, a man named James Richard was in Livermore, California, driving home from Turlock with his dog. He claims that when he pulled over to let the pup empty her bladder, she sprinted after a rabbit, and he followed after her, but tripped, knocking himself unconscious. When James came to, he was next to an odd machine in the company of a man named Jonas, who claimed to have found his unconscious body while on a work trip for an interdimensional travel agency. While they were together, Jonas and Richard wound up chatting about the pop culture in their respective universe and discovered that not only did the Beatles also exist in this dimension, but they are still and actively making music. Richard acquired a cassette tape labeled Everyday Chemistry, which contained Beatles songs that never existed in our dimension. He even uploaded the song to a website and called it the Beatles Never Broke Up.com. So friends, that's all for today. I hope you guys like the video. Comment us your best and strange parallel universe story. We will meet in next video. For that, take care.